The Finance and Tax Department, while accounted for within the general administration function, has significant duties and responsibilities. The Finance Department is charged with the prudent management and monitoring of the city's financial position, as well as accurately reporting the revenues and expenditures for all city financial activities. The staff strives to provide efficient, courteous, accurate, and professional service in all areas of the department. Making sure that all duties of the department are carried out effectively is Finance Director Melissa Wright.
I'm Melissa Wright. I work in the Finance and Tax Department. I've been with the city for about 20 years. My title is City Recorder and City Treasurer, and I'm also the Finance Director. We hold many hats in our department. There's a lot of responsibilities that we take care of that a lot of people may not realize. Obviously, with the name Finance and Tax, we do handle the city's finances. We pay the city's bills. We try to make sure they're paid timely and accurately. We have a staff of 3 who handle that. For the taxes, we have a staff of 4 who generally work the counter, answer tax calls. They not only collect property taxes, they collect business license, hotel motel occupancy tax. They sell rover tickets. They help us issue beer permit applications, of which I have another lady on staff who actually processes those applications. We collect beer and liquor privilege tax, and we help with the agenda, which is for the City Council. We do the minutes, we do the agenda preparation, we manage the fixed asset listing and the debt management for the city. So we are a very busy group. We may not be as glamorous as the fire and the police department, but we are a key department for the city. The taxes have to be collected in order for us to pay the salaries of the public safety individuals, the codes enforcement. Even in the tornado that we had, the Friday tornado, we were ready to help issue purchase orders for emergency supplies that needed to be done. We have staff that will work to get emergency contracts in place. The bills have to get paid, and we make sure those get paid. We try to find ways to back up our processes so our employees get paid. We work closely with our HR department, who actually issues payroll checks. We fund those bank accounts to make sure they can do that. We handle the city's investments and checking accounts. We make sure our debt gets paid so that the beautiful city streets that the engineering department puts out are paid for, and we are in good standing with all those who look at Murfreesboro. We generally are held up to a high standard. People expect Murfreesboro to be the one to follow, and we try to do our part in the tax department to do that. When people come in and want to pay their property taxes, some are unhappy. Sometimes we can make that better. We can tell them they need to go talk to the assessor's office. Perhaps their assessment's wrong. There is a tax relief program in place that we administer for the state, for our city residents, that also helps disabled veterans. There is special paperwork to be done for that, and there is a small amount of their taxes that if they're paid on time, the state will rebate back, so they won't have to pay that. If they're a new taxpayer to this program, they'll have to pay all their taxes up front, and they'll get the check from the state instead of us. After that, they'll be on the roll, and we will handle that for them. That same program is available at the county, and the county also runs a tax freeze program that the state put in place. So there are several programs out there for those who are on fixed income and low income, and we try to reach out and share that information, even if they don't ask. If they make any kind of comment that we think this could be a program for them, our staff is instructed to share that information just in case they are embarrassed to ask or just don't even know to ask. Taxes are due between October 1st and December 31st of each calendar year. The taxes that are issued are actually for the calendar year, but they're not due until the very end of the year. The county actually gives 2 more months. Theirs is due at the end of February, where ours are due at the end of December. When you come into our department to pay your taxes, you can come in person and pay in cash or check, and we just started accepting credit cards. There is an additional fee for that. So when you come in, if you decide you want to do that, that extra fee goes to our credit card processor. Right now we're not taking payments online. We are going to be moving towards that, but you can come in person, or you can mail your check in, and we will process it that way. While you're here, as we said before, we can talk to you about the special programs that might be available to you. There is an additional one for people who prefer to use this. We have a partial pay program where you can pay a little bit of your tax every month, or we have a minimum amount. It depends on your tax, but if you meet our guidelines, then you can pay your partial payment. So we try to help with that too. Business taxes are handled in our department, which is actually a state program that we administer. The business tax program changed a few years ago to where the businesses came to our department and paid their tax, filed their returns. The state of Tennessee took that over, and now you pay the state of Tennessee online. There are new changes coming for business tax, and we're going to be working with the taxpayers as we learn what our role will be. They have changed to where there's going to be minimum fees for smaller businesses, and my understanding is those businesses may be able to just come in and pay us in person. And if that's correct, a lot of businesses will appreciate that. The biggest change that's coming is the state of Tennessee has decided that business cycles will no longer be grouped by what type of business they are. Now, business cycles will be your tax year. So if you are an individual who has a business and you file your April 15th tax with the IRS for the calendar year preceding, then that will be your business tax cycle too. Big change. A lot of people will appreciate that. Before, they were having to get an accountant to help them with an odd business cycle, and then again for their IRS cycle. This is going to help people save money and not have to visit the accountant twice to get information because we needed it two different ways. So I think that is a change people will really appreciate. Immediately when you come to our department, you'll see Hope Fair, who is the receptionist for City Hall, basically. She sits out front. She will direct you if you come in the rotunda to see if you need to go upstairs or downstairs to get you to the right department. She answers calls on the switchboard, and then she feeds those calls to the proper department. If it's a question she can answer, she'll handle that. Otherwise, she'll get you to the right person. Once you come through the department, the next group of people you'll see is our tax staff. We have Regina Dorsey and Nancy Brown, Michelle Strobel, and Belinda Smitty. They've all been with us for several years and are well versed in property taxes and business licenses, and are always very happy to help and either answer your question or get you to the assessor's office or the county tax office, depending on what your needs are. The next set of people is our accounts payable staff. As you walk down our department, they're next. And we have Melanie Carter and Nicole Marie Hall and Marilyn Harris. They not only pay the city's bills promptly and accurately, they collect money from the other departments and receipt it, so it'll be ready for a deposit to the banks. And they also provide backup for Hope when she's away from the switchboard. If you don't get her, you'll get one of these ladies normally to answer your call. Going around the corner, we come to Anna Stovall, and she, along with Erin Tucker, who's the Assistant Finance Director, and Vicki Massey, they handle fixed asset management, the budget preparation, they work with the auditors, and they also touch the general ledger in some form or fashion pretty much every day. They help us with balancing in the mornings and preparing the deposit for the bank. Georgia Machodo is our resident guru when it comes to the agenda and minutes. She works closely with the city manager's office and the legal department. She puts the agenda together, which is now not only done in a paper form, but she has it done electronically. She provides that to the departments and to our city council for their use on their iPads, when people want to look up documents that are on the agenda, they can now look it up online with the help of our communications department. And that has proven to be very helpful. When people need a document, they can access it themselves a lot of times before having to call her to find it for them. My staff plays a very integral role when it comes to the budget preparation. We work very closely with the city manager's office. The budget book itself is put together by my staff, but the budget numbers are the responsibility of the city manager. So we do our part to help him get all the information he needs. We work closely with the departments by sending them out their past information. We try to get them up to speed with their current numbers so that they can make estimations properly, which is one of the segments of the budget, in order for them to then decide how much they will need for funding for the next upcoming year. We work closely with the HR department to make sure that we're using the right classifications for our employees to see if they get a step raise. If they're in that process, we have both exempt and non-exempt employees, so it depends on the employee. It's a complicated process. Once the numbers come in, the city manager meets with every department. My staff, usually myself and my assistant, attend all of those meetings. We take notes. We remind him of things he was going to get more information on and come back to. And with that information, we're able to put together numbers for our new debt we may need, if any, and what programs need to be done quickly, what programs maybe could be delayed. And we work with the departments to make sure their information is in there. Not only is the agenda prepared by my staff, Ms. Machodo, but she and I both attend every city council meeting. She attends to make sure she gets the information she needs for the minutes. I attend, and I'm known as Call the Roll, Ms. Wright, by the mayor. And I call the roll and record the votes. And Ms. Machodo and I try to make sure we've recorded the same information. Of course, now that it's on television, if we have a question, we can go back to the city's website and just see who made the first motion or the second if we can't quite hear it, or sometimes at the meetings the voices blend together, and if you're not looking up, you may miss that. So we coordinate on that together. I present the beer permits for approval to the City Council. They're our beer board, and I have staff that handles the applications, and if there's questions, we work those out, try to understand where that application is, if there's a problem, before it actually comes to Council. I prepare a list of the statements for Council to approve. That's when they say they move to pay the bills, and that's done. They actually have a list to look at to decide if they have any questions. They can always ask those. I bring the bills with me to the meetings. We're proud to say that we've received the Certificate of Achievement in Excellence of Reporting for the last 15 years for our audit report. This is due to great effort from our auditors as well as my staff. We put many, many hours into making sure our numbers are accurate, the presentation is understandable, and the auditors work closely with us to make sure our formats meet the standards required. So we are very, very proud of that. That particular award is only good 1 year at a time. So when we submit the June 30, 2013 report, we will be submitting a request for them to review it once again, and we hope to receive that again. Additionally, this award is issued by the Government Finance Officers Association, known as the GFOA. They also have a budget achievement certificate, and we have now received that award for the last 2 years, and we are very excited to be a part of that program now as well. When I began with the city in 1993, our tax parcels totaled 18,117. 20 years later, 2013, those same tax parcels total 40,886. That's the growth the city has experienced in tax parcels. Now remember, a tax parcel could be one parcel and several apartments. It could be one parcel and a mall. So that is big numbers, even though 40,000 may not seem that large. the tax due base, this is not the value, this is just the tax due, 20 years ago was about 11.9 million. This year, it's 35 million. So we have grown so much in 20 years. When people come back, MTSU graduates, finish, go home, then come back to visit, they say they can't believe how Murfreesboro's changed. And it's true. Our growth has been wonderful. Our people are still here creating a small town atmosphere, which I personally love. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I love Murfreesboro. I just want to say that our department has tried to play its role. We try to be efficient. When I started, every tax bill had to be stamped in a stamper by hand. We didn't have it on computer. And now we can look up people's information so quickly. We answer your phone calls. If you want to find out if your tax has been paid because it's with a mortgage company, we can tell you. You can look it up online now. There's so many ways that the city has progressed, but I hope that everyone feels when they come into our department that they have that small hometown feel, that we're friendly. Often we remember you. The ones who come in to pay their taxes often come in and say, I just want to come in and see y'all, because we remember them and we like to ask how's their family and what's going on in their life since we saw them last. So we hope anyone that comes to our department gets that feeling.
The city's Finance and Tax Department is located at 111 West Vine Street on the first floor of City Hall. If you have any questions or need more information about the department, please call 615-893-5210.